Oh my God.
Here
we are.
Okay, I'm gonna
Oh, wow.
fall off the side here. That's okay.
I didn't know you were coming in.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. It's
Thank you.
wait, we should keep
Yeah.
Today is my birthday.
Yeah.
this. It's her birthday. Let's welcome our guest properly.
Absolutely.
This is episode 2 of season 2, Women of Influence. This is a Women of Influence, even though she wouldn't agree. This is actor, activist, melodramatist, Kaylah Zander. That sounded cool.
Really good intro.
Welcome. Thank you for coming on the show and for what you're about to share.
How you doing? How's it feel? It's your birthday today?
It's my birthday.
How's your week been?
Good. I slept in really late.
Yeah.
You can hold this.
I told you that I was on my way. I wasn't. I was leaving my house.
Oh, we knew.
Okay.
I told
Yeah.
Alex that.
I lied on my birthday.
I knew. And even when you were driving to here and you're like, I'm looking for parking. I'm like, no, you haven't even got here yet.
Women of influence lie.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm used to it.
Women of influence, I'm sure the first thing they tell you is probably don't be late. Like, know your lines. Show up on time. Yeah, that one's not easy for me, showing up on time. LOL.
But decent. It was close. You were close.
But, yeah. But when you were like, don't be late, I wasn't like, okay. I actually just didn't say anything.
That's good. Buy yourself some time.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And I'm going to milk this birthday week so hard.
Okay.
Birthday week.
No one
I
can
like
get mad
that.
at me. on my
So
birthday
we're the
week.
start of that milking. Okay, copy
Yeah.
that.
I do have a beginning question. Yeah. So, actor was the first thing we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
How does your creative practice look outside of that? What do you do to support yourself?
Ooh. I don't want to hold this. Will you hold this?
Mm-hmm. It's your birthday.
It's my birthday. I feel like because I do a lot of film and TV, that I have to balance that industry and that environment with things that are more authentic, more political, and more community oriented. Because I just find the industry to be like a very hierarchical, sometimes toxic, strange, competitive, money-driven world. And so the things that I do outside of my job are really compensating for being in that environment. So I'm a big fan of tea. My friend introduced me to tea, and we'll just sit and drink tea with each other for like an hour.
What's your favorite tea?
Right now, I'm really into show pur, and I just got a bunch of tea from Taiwan. It's beautiful. It comes in this like cake.
You went to Taiwan, didn't you? To do
Yeah.
exactly that.
Yeah, we made some tea. We looked at all the tea farms. We got to see like what an organic tea farm looks like compared to like sort of like a traditional tea farm, and it's really beautiful.
Cool.
And I do Aikido, which I think is really good for me because it has like a lot of ritual built into it, and I don't have a lot of that in my life. Like, I think people that grow up maybe with religion or those sorts of things, they have a little bit more like ritual and tradition built in, but I really missed out on that. So I had to do something that had a little bit of that because I think it's important. And what else do I do? Oh, I started spinning my own yarn.
Cool.
Is that funny?
It just doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
So
I'm a
niche.
big knitter, and I was into knitting, and then I was like, oh, what's the next level below this? And it turns out it's making your own yarn, which is crazy because you take this fleece like off the sheep, like you could just snip it right off the sheep if you wanted. You give it a little wash and you spin it, and then you do 2 strands, and then you spin those strands together, and then you get yarn. And it is obscenely inefficient, like shockingly inefficient. It's so slow. It takes so long. And that feels to me in this era, like such a radical thing to do is to waste your time so wholeheartedly making this thing from scratch. It's so slow and it's so precious too. Then like when I have the yarn, I just like look at it. I don't even want to use it. I'm like, who deserves this? It took me 16 hours, you know, to make like one ball of yarn.
So does this mean you have some sort of 18th century machine?
Yeah, I
making
was
this
going to
yarn?
ask, like, what apparatus?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Okay, so I did a play last summer. It was a Federico Garcia Lorca play, and in that play, my character was spinning. And so I actually owe the director for introducing me to this because they were like, "We're gonna get you a spindle," and they like let me practice. I got a spinning lesson. Because across the street from the theater, there was this yarn store, and I was like, trying to learn how to spin. And he was like, "I'll give you a lesson." He gave me this lesson, and I just got totally hooked. And then when I finished that play and I came home, I was at the thrift store and I was like, you got this spindle over here. It's this giant fucking thing. Like my roommate hates me for taking it home. It's so huge. But then I inherited a really small machine that's like much more practical and it's like very modern. People do this.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a thing. It's niche, but it's a thing. Actually, there's this incredible guy on YouTube. I feel like you should link to him. I'm obsessed with him. He's this outrageously handsome.
I'm going to point like
queer,
this, and I'm going to put the link right here.
Yeah, put it here. He's
Oh,
this
link.
outrageously charming, handsome, queer man who like I think he does like all these different crafts, but he has this one video where he like shows you how to spin, and it's beautiful. I actually think that you would really like it. You should watch it. Yeah. Plug for that guy that I don't know.
Plugged.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, cool. That kind of leads into the next question that I had to, I really like what you said about meaningfully wasting your time. I'm a big fan of like doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I schedule a lot of like nothing into my days.
Good for you.
So what else might you do to like, as a sort of quiet revolution or to kind of like ease the unique pressures of this like chaotic human existence we're living?
I mean, yeah.
And if you can't, then we'll go to dead ones.
I mean, fuck, I'm so bad at names. So many. And I'm going to struggle to come up with them on the spot. But, okay, this is coming to the top of my mind because I just watched the movie. This is a silly one. This is a silly reference, okay? Okay. But I just watched the Kneecap biopic.
Okay.
And I fucking loved it. I loved it. I thought it was so good. Have you heard of them?
No, what's it about?
Have you heard of Kneecap?
No.
Okay. They're this Irish electronic, I guess, sort of hip hop group. And they sing in Irish, which is
Gaelic?
Yeah, but they call it Irish. Gaelic has, I mean, yes, but Gaelic has this sort of like antiquated vibe to it. But they're like, oh no, we're still alive and our language is still alive and we're a colonized people and this is our language. But to be making, so they've put together this thing, this Irish sovereignty and speaking their language with making this music. And it's such a fantastic combo. And I mean, it's silly because they're like talking about like having sex and running from the cops and
Art's art.
Doing a lot of drugs. So it's kind of it's funny that that's the first thing that came to my mind, but I just watched the movie, so.
Cool.
Yeah. People that have something to say.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it just kills me that actors can be they're like puppets.
Vacant.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they can be so good at it, and it's a beautiful craft. It's a fantastic art. But when you mix that also with people that have something to say,
It's great art.
really something to say. Yeah.
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 I mean, I think it goes back to what you were saying about like outside of your work, it getting into like the community aspect of things.
Yeah.
And often we conflate like fame with artistic success, and like film to me as an outsider is one of those areas. It's like, well, you could be famous and not necessarily be like the the best actor, or the best choice, or the best
yeah.
like person out there. And I'm sure there's tons of amazing artists who never achieve fame,
Oh
but
my
are
God,
in their
yeah, so
communities or
many.
in their towns, or making livings and have bought homes and supported families. And
There's so many talented artists out there. Like my friend Tess
Yeah.
is in a play right now. She's the lead of People, Places, and Things. She's fucking amazing. She's so fucking talented, and she has such an impact on her community, like directly on her community. And Timothy Chalamet, like, I don't know, I feel bad for famous people. I really do, especially if you get famous young. Because this is the only way you become an A-lister. You're famous young, like a child star or a teen star, or you've gone to Juilliard or Tisch or something really, really prestigious, and you come out of there and you get all of these connections. Usually still, again, when you're young. Like, it's so rare to make it to A-list status. Like, Viola Davis or whatever. Like, it's rare to be older. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, I feel sad for them because I think they get really disconnected from other people. Like, their community becomes so small and so fucking niche, and they're so insanely rich. Like, I feel sad for them. I don't think I think it's probably fucking miserable.
You need to date a Kardashian too. You need to attach some like
Like,
meta apolitical, like, oh look, I'm with a person of status. It's like,
it's that, and I wonder too if it's just like there's so few people that can understand what that life is like, and so they get together because it's like at least what they have in common is that they're famous as fuck, they're rich as fuck, and
so those two elements are not in the way. They're just like, but also like I really wonder. I would love to ask them like, how deep is your connection? What do you guys share? Like, how do you?
fucking knows.
You know what I mean? Like, no one knows. No one ever knows. The only thing
And
we
whatever,
ever
maybe
see-
they're madly in love. Who am I to say?
Exactly.
But I think like they've lost. You lose touch. You lose touch with other people, your community, and the rest of the world, and the things that they struggle with.
Well, also celebrity culture itself is this thing of like, oh, you're somehow better or in a limelight because you do this thing. I actually have the belief now that celebrity culture is dying, and if not already completely dead, because the most popular medias now are personal, community based. Like, hey audience, I'm sharing, connecting with you. Hey, this is me doing this like really pedantic thing that we all do. Or that like, oh, the celebrity of this thing. I think that era is dying very quickly because people can't relate to it. And I think more than ever, people want to relate to things. And from what I see in like current media, is the most popular people on YouTube and even like think about gamers on Twitch. It seems hilarious, but video games made 4 times the amount of TV and film combined last year. So there's a millions of people watching someone just play a game because they can relate to that person. They're not like, hey, let's follow Matt Damon around and see how his life is anymore. I think all of that is starting to kind of fade because we hit that apex of like celebrities, like Jim Carrey's and Samuel L. Jackson's and you know, and then we've realized, oh, they're just people and they fuck up just like us, and that they're not actually anything more special. They just did a craft that was really highly elevated, that we were fed through these machines. And so we were kind of taught, especially our generation, to be like, whereas the new generations are just kind of like,
I mean, the landscape is changing.
yeah.
But I don't think that anybody deserves, like, you don't deserve fame. Like, you don't. But Timothy Chalamet is not better than my friend Tess Degenstein. She'll be probably embarrassed when she sees this. But he's not better. He's had more resources, more opportunities. He's worked with some of the best directors and filmmakers in the world. But like, and he also does not deserve to be a millionaire, like a billionaire. Nobody deserves that much money. You're not a better human being because you've made yourself rich and famous. You're just not.
Tell me how you feel. The awkward scratch of like, okay, am I going too far?
No one deserves to be famous. It's luck and a lot of other things. Not that
Would you consider yourself famous?
No.
Would you consider yourself well known for your craft?
Well known. I mean, I'm really lucky in that like people, I get a lot of auditions and people give me a lot of opportunities.
Do you feel you have the opportunity to create high art in the sense like art that is meaningful?
No.
Or do you feel that it's mostly just work?
Not that entertainment can't be meaningful, but it's not art
Okay.
for the most part. Although when I make short films with my friends, I'd say like those are truly the most memorable projects that I've ever done. Like I did a Crazy Eights film with this director named Jackie Hoffert, and I just thought it was like a perfect, beautiful short film and really meaningful. And the process of making it was really meaningful. And I'm so fucking grateful that I get to do projects like that.
I feel like that's what actors are really dreaming about when we're all training together. We're like, oh, we're going to get this project. What you get to do in a short film in a feature format, which is, I find, very rare.
Yeah.
That you even get the opportunity to go for that, whether it gets funded or not.
Yeah.
Because most of the things that get funded are with the idea of like, there's going to be a return, a financial return of some sort. And the best ideas are risks. And there's not many risks, I don't feel, in the industry.
Yeah, I notice my mentality changes a lot too. Like when I'm doing a project and it's like for a network or Hallmark or whatever, there's always a part of me that's like, yeah, but are they paying me well? Like, am I being taken advantage of? Like, I don't want to give my labor away for free. And then for Jackie or for, you know, Casey Lum, when we do a music video or whoever, I'm always just like, yeah, no problem. I can knit that sweater myself if you need a green one for my character for that scene. You know, like I'm like so willing. I'm like laying down in the road with no shoes for November, no problem. Like I'll do any, like we're all there for the same reasons. And I'm so willing to give my labor for free. And then I notice that there's like this resentment that like sort of like lives underneath the jobs that are for sustenance and like survival, and which is actually probably not great. But
how have you felt your journey in the acting world has played out being a woman? Like,
that's a crazy question, but I made a movie about it. You'll just have to watch the movie.
When do we get
Is
to
it
plug
out?
that too? When is that coming out? When do we get to see that?
I have no idea.
I'm pushing a deadline on you now.
Yeah.
You made as in directed, produced?
I just made a really personal little video essay. It's not even a movie. It's not a film.
Oh.
It's just like a video essay.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cool.
And that will say everything that needs to be said about your journey as a woman.
Correct. In 17 minutes. It'll say
Wow.
everything. No,
Holy.
it'll say some things.
Nice.
It'll say 17 minutes worth of stuff.
Okay, let's refine that question. Do you feel like you are where you want to be in the industry right now in your career?
Yeah, I'm really grateful.
Mhm.
I'm really grateful. I make a fucking living. Like, there's so many actors that can't make a living doing acting. Like, I'm so, so, so grateful. I feel very, very lucky. And all the things that I want to explore on a personal level, like, I realize that even if I make a Hallmark movie, even if I do a comedy TV show that's very silly, I get to still, like, we're still talking about human beings, we're still talking about people, and in trying to make those characters as like three-dimensional and as full as possible, I still get to explore a lot of personal stuff in my work, and I'm just very lucky that I get to do that. Labor is labor. We all give our labor away so that other people can make profit. We all do. Like, and if I was a construction worker and I had to like sell my body and like destroy my body to make houses or whatever, and I mean, that's a lot harder than what I do. But I feel very, very lucky that I get to have creative exploration within the job that I have that pays my rent.
Are there a number of really interesting skills you've learned to do this job?
The spinning.
And you can wield firearms. Have you ever had to do that?
Oh yeah, they always give me a gun for some reason. I always have a gun.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's fun. Everybody wants that. They're like everybody wants to be cast in the cowboy movie so they can get horseback riding lessons. Like everybody fucking wants that. That's
Fair.
amazing.
Fair.
You know,
Then we get to
that's
feed the
fun.
horses.
Yeah. But there's lots of other personal and interpersonal skills that I've learned through acting. Like I've made so many horrific mistakes in my career.
Let's hear about these mistakes.
No.
Well,
People.
let's change gears a little bit and pull it back from the like career and have a more personal question in on the note of mistakes or life. What in the last like maybe 2-3 years of your life, what's something you wish had maybe gone differently?
Ooh. I mean, nothing. Because if it had gone well, if those things had gone well, I think I wouldn't have learned some very hard lessons. I honestly wouldn't change anything. Even the truly, truly horrific shit that's happened, I wouldn't change it.
Okay, say more about one of the hard lessons.
This is a real Karen confession. I think like I felt powerless as a teenage girl and as like a young woman, and in some moments, like being on set, I felt like a little taste of power. And when people were not kind, I was sometimes not kind back, especially early on in my career. And those are definitely the ones that keep me up at night. Like what I regret is like not being the bigger person in some situations, or moments where I let people down, or moments where I wasn't very kind. I think, yeah, whatever has the things that have been hard, the hardships that I've experienced, like I wouldn't ask to go back and change those if I could. But if I could go back and be a little kinder to people, be more loving, I would many, many times.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I think that's where like regret can be kind of powerful. Like I heard this quote recently. It's like regret shows that you've grown and changed, and you have some clarity looking backwards.
I just didn't know what I didn't
mean
know.
You're like writhing in agony and be like, I wish I should have changed, because you don't wish you should have changed anything, but you can look back and at least be like, huh, okay, for next time.
Yeah. Now I know what I didn't know.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, now you know.
And now I know.
And I feel like there's a lot of things that you can know and still not be enacting. So that is the wisdom, is to go, okay, now that I know that you are consciously available to that knowledge, that you act differently. I don't know if everyone always acts differently and goes like, okay, now I'm going to change and be this loving thing. I think that is high wisdom, to be able to go, oh, actually, yeah, I should have been more loving. I should have been that. And then if you're actually acting that forward, because you can acknowledge all you want, but if you're not taking that action, then pushing that forward and being like, okay, now I am loving. I am then.
Well, you just hope that the time gets shorter and shorter. You're like, oh, it took me 2 years to realize that I was being a fucking bitch to that person or in that situation or whoever, you know? And then it's like, okay, maybe that takes me 2 months. I'm like, all right, fine. I confess. I was a fucking bitch. And then you're like, oh, and now it takes me 5 minutes. I can like go to, you know, my room and come back, or wherever the hell I am, and come back and be like, 5 minutes ago, I was being a fucking bitch. I'm sorry. You know, and then if you're really lucky, it like happens in your brain. It's like, don't be a bitch. And then you don't.
The lesson. Let's not be bitches.
Yeah. And then I'm going to squeeze in one last question. Yeah. And because it's your birthday, and it's like, you know, birthday week, ceremonial week. What are you hopeful about in this next iteration of Kaylah? What brings you hope?
Well, Like on a personal level, what do I feel hopeful about? I guess of course it has to be personal. Duh.
Everything's personal.
It's all personal. I feel hopeful for so many things, actually. I feel overwhelmed by all the things that like I am in awe of, including the fact that people now can have conversations, even if they're superficial at times or they're tropey or whatever, people that can have conversations about intergenerational trauma and like consent, and that there are teenagers that can talk about those things, that have vocabulary for that and are learning about those things so early, like blows my fucking mind. I wish we had that. That's such an old person thing to say. I wish we had that in my day, but of course I do. And to even just understand what trauma is and like the connection to the body, like I feel really hopeful for the direction that that is going. I feel hopeful that things are so bad in the world. Like, you really have to have your head in the sand to not be having an existential crisis at this moment. And I don't know, fuck, maybe all generations felt like this. I really don't know. Cold War, where they're like, is it all gonna end? Are we gonna watch the end of the world? That's fucked. But what I think it also forces people to do is to think about what people would never do. Like, what will you never do? Like, what is your hard line? Like, if someone knocked on your door and was like, I need you to rat out your fucking neighbor, like, what would you never ever do? And I think, like, especially the people around me who are very privileged, we all live in North America, we've been very safe our whole lives. But to imagine that you could live your entire life without seeing any conflict and having to make those hard decisions, that's an insane privilege to think you could go your whole life like that. And so now I think collectively we're like, okay, what do we stand for? Like, what do you really believe in? What would you never do? And
so there's a light that is being projected out of set darkness, like the hardships of the world are going, oh, there is a perspective to look at and go, oh yeah, and it is actually giving us a perspective to be like, okay, now I know a hard line. I'm never going to kill somebody. I'm never going to rat out my neighbor. I'm never going to.
Yeah, I think it forces people to think about very hard things. What would you die for? What would you kill for? It's a crazy question, but like a lot of people don't have to think about that.
Sure.
And but then everybody else in the rest of the world does. And to just, do you believe in human rights? Because that applies to literally everybody. It's hard to apply that to everybody. And I think it's really brought a lot of things to the surface, and it's made people think about really hard moral and ethical questions. And I'm glad that we're talking about that, even though shit be fucked.
Yeah.
Shit be fucked up. And also, like, I feel hopeful for myself in that, like, what I've witnessed over the last few years, actually, even like Me Too and the George Floyd uprising and fucking COVID and genocide in Gaza, and now like all of this war and horror, like I feel hopeful for myself in that, like, it has really forced me to look at suffering and be able to withstand more suffering, like my own and other people's. Like, and the more that you can withstand, the more, like, the longer you can look at those things, the more helpful you can be. And to really develop like a resilience to not a numbness, which unfortunately I think that our industry helps create, like a numbness towards violence, but to be forced to look at horrible suffering. And like, I read some of the Epstein files. It's the worst thing I've ever read on the fucking internet in my life. Like, I will never forget what I read. But to be able to just like sit with that and manage your emotions and move through it and to build resilience so that you can be useful and you can like stand up to some of those things. I think that that's an important lesson for the privileged people around me and me as a privileged person. And I feel really hopeful that I am more resilient now.
Bam.
Nice. Great way. Great finish.
That was a delicious finish. Well, thank you, Kaylah, for being here and sharing your heart. And
yeah, we very much appreciate you being here.
Yeah,
Thanks.
That was lovely to
Thanks,
listen
you
to
too.
you. Yeah.
Alex, let's dap it. Is there any cool?
Can you dap 3 ways?
Okay.
Yeah.
Peace.